month, the Carnegie in Covington wraps up its summer theater series, giving you a chance to see not one, but three really incredible shows. Joining us now, director and choreographer Maggie Perrino and Eliza Levy, playing the part of Imogene Remus in the play George Remus. I'm fascinated by this. First time I ever heard that name was at Eden Park, which is fitting for George Remus. For those who don't know the name or it doesn't ring a bell, who was George Remus and why are you putting on this play?
Sure. So in a nutshell, he's one of the most famous bootleggers during Prohibition, one of the largest prosecutions actually that the Justice Department ever undertakes under Prohibition. And he specifically moved to Cincinnati because we have 80% of the liquor distilleries were in this area at that time. And so he moves here in the 20s. He buys them up with a pharmacy license and works out a very ingenious plan to basically rob his own pharmacies and resell the liquor on the black market. He also very famously shoots his wife in Eden Park near the gazebo.
That's the story I heard.
Yeah, that's the story
right
you
over
heard.
there at the gazebo.
Yeah, so he lived this incredibly sort of infamous life. It's really bigger than life and an incredible piece for a musical.
And so, Eliza, you play Imogene. What's it been like trying to step into her shoes, if you will, and just being part of the theater for this summer?
It has been an incredible time. I think learning the story of Imogene Remus, I'm not from Ohio and I didn't originally know the story of George Remus and Imogene. It made me realize that she was an incredible and strong woman and extremely smart, especially for somebody who was born in the late 1800s and growing up in the early 1900s. She really was ahead of her time and very independent and confident, and I think it reads in a lot of different ways. I've had just the most incredible time this summer being in a part of Rent as well as Remus and working with my classmates like Maddie Mosley and Jackson Reagan and Julia Schick and Nick Paterini and Tyler Martin and all of these just incredible actors that I've had a great time performing with.
So yeah, you mentioned Rent. That's one of the other stories that you guys are telling here. Into the Woods as well. How do you wrap around all of these different sorts of takes on performances? Because George Remus sounds way different than what you're getting with the musical theater Into the Woods.
Yes, definitely. So they're all big stories, right? Every last one of them is sort of important and interesting in its own way. We started this summer knowing we were going to do what's called a repertory season, right? So we would open one show and it would keep running, and we'd open a second show and then they'd run in a cycle. So George Remus is the third show. We're opening it August 13th. And now all three shows will be playing on the weekends. So we have a really big job.
That's so much.
We change over the sets, we change over the dressing rooms. There are racks and racks of costumes that we're changing out every day. But it's kind of fun, right? It's really fun. Yeah. So, and the shows are all incredible. So I hope that people will see one, see how outrageous these people are on stage, how good they are, and be like, I have to see that next show because they were so good in this one.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time here, Maggie and Eliza. You can get your tickets right now at thecarnegie.com. Again, thanks for your time.
Perfect.
Can't wait to see it. Sounds like a great time.